Now let go of the technique and move into your normal breathing. As you move into your normal breathing, try and be aware of the changes in your body. Observe your normal breathing and make a mental note on the difference between your normal breathing and both the full breathing and the chest breathing. Now, throughout the session, be aware of your breathing, be aware of your body, be aware of the pose that we move into, and when you're in that pose, try and understand which parts of the body feel tight, which feel relaxed, what is the difference between the left side and the right side, what is the difference between the bottom part and the top part. Try and make as many notes as you can so you can understand your body. Also be aware of your breathing. Observe the breathing pattern. Is it shallow? Is it long? Is your inhalation more than your exhalation? Or is it the other way around? Be aware of your heartbeat. Be aware of your thoughts. Simply saying, don't control the thoughts, just be aware of them. You will notice because you're busy keeping the mind on the body, there'll be less space and time to have thoughts that you don't want. Now slowly moving into our first pose. Remember, only 50%. Bring your feet together, palms by your side in touching your thighs. This is known as the attention position. The feet are together, inner thighs are together, palms are on your thighs, underarms are squeezed. The back gets arched, but push the lower back into the floor. Now maintaining the attention position, bring your left knee up, interlock your fingers together, place them around the knee, and pull the knee as much as you can within your comfort zone. Now there is a secret technique to improving your pose. When you start with the pose, don't push too much, just hold it. After a few breaths, observe how automatically the body goes in deeper and deeper into the pose. You can either maintain this pose or you can lift your head up towards your knee. Remember, just push yourself to 50%. Hold as much as you can. When you're tired, release the pose or release half the pose. The choice is yours. Now when you're in the pose, try and contract as many muscles of the body as possible. Use your right leg to help you, use your arms, use your head, your neck. slowly release first your head, then your arms, then your knee and your leg. Moving into a tension pose and change legs. Right knee comes up, right hand fingers together around your knee pressed into your body. Maintain this pose, and when you're ready, lift your head to your knee. Give the body the time it needs. And release. Step by step, release the pose and move into your relaxation pose. As you move into your relaxation pose, align your body on the mat. Observe the breathing. Observe your heart rate. And scan the body. Now moving into the next pose, attention position, and slowly walking your heels on the ground, bring your knees up into your tummy, towards your chest. Support your knees by interlocking your fingers around your knees, knees into tummy. Maintain that position. You can either maintain this position or you can lift your head and neck as high as you can towards your knee. Allow the body to open at its own time. And release the pose and relax in the relaxation pose. First, align the body on the mat, scan the body and be aware of how it feels. Now observe the breathing and make notes on what is happening with the breath. How much time to breathe in, how much time to breathe out. When you breathe in, what rises? When you breathe out, what falls? Now moving into your attention position, getting ready for the next pose. Bending your knees, walking your heels up towards your buttocks. Palms facing down. And then open up your feet so your heels touch your fingers. Now either you can maintain that position with your fingers and heels touching, or you can hold on to your ankles. The choice is yours. From this position, you lift your hips as high as you can. Into the bridge pose. Here you have another option. You can either maintain this pose without the support of your hands, or you can place your hands under your back and maintain that position. This is a very good posture to maintain topsy-turvy position, which is the upside down position. This allows the blood to go into your brain and also allows your organs to go back into their place, reversing the effect of gravity. Keep your buttocks intact. Let the buttocks take most of the work. Slowly release. First your hands, then your buttocks. And slowly moving your legs forward, going into relaxation position. And take a nice big sigh and let the body unwind. Palms are facing the ceiling. Be aware of your breath. Try not to change the breathing. Now take control of the breathing and move into your deep breathing, where you breathe in maximum and you exhale completely. Deep breathing. After this last breath, slowly move into the next pose. Come into attention position. From the attention position, bring your palms up in line with your shoulders. Bringing both knees up very slowly, walking into your chest. Look to your left and gently take both knees back to your left. Better. Keep the knees joined. Observe the body as you breathe in. You have an option of holding this pose or changing sides. If you can't hold the pose for too long, you can do left, right, very slowly. We are practicing classical Ashtanga Patanjali yoga. I know it's a long name, but what to do? In classical yoga, they have 8 branches to the tree. We're doing the 3rd branch, the poses. In the poses, the idea is to bring your heart rate down. To master a pose, the pose must be easy, it must be relaxing, and must bring the heart rate down. Slowly come back to the center and change sides. Very slowly. First make sure your palms are aligned, fingers are pointing down, the fingers are holding the floor. Looking to your right, knees to your left. Keep the knees together if possible and the feet together. It's not important for the knees to go to the floor. It's more important for your neck to be in the opposite direction and the knees to be in the opposite direction. So there are 7 important positions of the spine. The forward bend, backward bend, left twist, right twist, left side bend, right side bend, and the topsy-turvy pose. Your whole body is relaxed except your fingers and your knees, which are joined together. Try and relax all other parts of the body. Remember, your option is to do left, then right, then left, then right, or you can hold the pose. The choice is yours. Stay at 50% of your performance. Once you're in this pose, observe how the body feels. Observe how automatically the breathing changes from tummy to chest. Slowly come back to the center. Be aware of the spine starting from your neck to your tailbone. Check to see, are you aligned on the mat as the body moves left or right? Is your breathing aligned? Make notes. Be aware and make notes. Use your fingers to check the distance of your hips from the mat. Use your heels to check the distance between the heels to the mat. Use your fingers to take the distance between the ears to the mat. And now lie down in the relaxation pose and take charge of your breath, which means first be aware of the breathing. Once you're aware and you observe the breathing ratio, then take charge by controlling the breathing. Controlling the breathing means consciously breathing in, breathing out, with a count, with a ratio. Let the breathing be silent, be slow, be soft, and most importantly, relaxed. Now slowly rolling over onto your left. Very slowly, take at least a minute to roll to your left in super slow motion. And take one more minute to sit up. So this is the first time a teacher said, the slower you do it, the more points you get. So take your time. You've got 2 minutes to sit up. And now suddenly 2 minutes feels like 2 hours. It's so long. It's been just 30 seconds. Take your time. Jenny. Taking your time. You can sit in whichever comfortable position, either cross-legged, either in the Japanese position, whatever works for you, or in the butterfly position, whatever works, whatever is easiest and most comfortable. In fact, if you want, you can even roll your mat and sit on it, so you can have a nice straight back. Usually, because in our regular lives, we don't get a chance to open up the hips in our Western culture, so that's why it's difficult for us in the Western world to sit cross-legged, which is fine. So just try and adapt it by putting something higher, so you're sitting up straight. You're comfortable there? Sitting up straight. Now we move into a side bend, so slowly bringing your arms up and lift yourself more from here. Another secret to a successful body is all your side bending and your twisting should happen from here. What happens is most of us go and twist this whole part, when actually this part is not supposed to twist and side bend as much as this part. So once your hips are locked, you'll find that you can do a side bend rather than a side sway. It's a bend. So just bend from here, like that. So it's less is more. Lifting up, pressing your palms in, either this way or this way. Just do a side bend. And in that bend, keep lifting up with each in-breath. So you're breathing in over here. So feeling the rib cage literally move into these muscles like you're doing a side crunch. Breathing up into this rib cage. You're free to release the pose and change sides when you want, or you can hold the pose with us. Most important is try and push your arms into the ears, so your neck is resting on your hands. Slowly release, come back to the center. Press the arms into ears if possible. Better. Changing sides. If you want to enhance the practice, keep pulling the tummy in. So you'll be doing abdominal work without even knowing it. Try and push the opposite hip down if you can. Yes, you get that nice length. Keep pulling the tummy in. Keep the ribcage bent. Much better. Open. Exaggerate that thoracic movement, no problem. Slowly release, come back to the center. Keep your arms up, stretch as much as you can. Now, our final pose for today, the twist. Now just watch very slowly, twist only this much. So from here, here, not all the way, just from here, here. and hold. Keep the tummy tight, keep the hips pressed down, and only rotate from the upper body, or just from the thoracic, the rib cage up. So it's a very small twist. So you don't want your whole hip to twist, it's only a small twist. And now as you try and breathe into the rib cage, you will actually be mobilizing because of air pressure, better digestion, better oxygen supply, better functioning of your diaphragm. So diaphragm is a very important breathing muscle that is responsible for digestion. One of the most important muscles responsible for digestion. Changing sides if you haven't changed. Keep it tight. Small twist. Keep stretching up, keep lifting up. Then push your elbows into your ears. Keep your shoulders strong. Breathe into the rib cage. And slowly release. Come back to the center. Bring your arms by your side. And scan the body. When you scan the body, you're thinking which muscles were tight, which were loose, which need more work, which need less work, which was less stimulated, which was almost overstimulated. Once you scan the body, make notes so you know when you practice where you have to improve. Now as you're sitting up, pull the tummy in. And for the next 2 minutes, only breathe into your chest, which means don't let this expand. Ribcage opens and lifts and stays up and drops, and this is your position. To make it easier, you can take your hands, press it into your ribcage and push out into your fingers. Once you get a hang of it, you can put your hands down and continue to practice for 1 more minute. Last breath. Usually the ratio is inhalation half of exhalation, or your exhalation is double your inhalation. So as you practice, try and get that ratio, which means maybe it's 1, 2, out will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if it is 1, then out will be 1, 2. If it is in for 4, what will the out be? 8. So that is usually the ratio. It's like when you go to exercise, you're panting, right? Same way, when you're doing yoga, it is a practice. You're not expected to do this all day. But yes, if you can remember now and then, hold on, I want to breathe, check. 1, 2, 4. What this does, it opens up your lungs, which means you need to breathe less or less breaths with same amount of oxygen. So it works for athletes, it works for disease, works for kids to expand the lung capacity. You'll be surprised how such a small breathing technique can help with lung capacity. So try and breathe into your rib cage and try and keep this pulled in as much as possible. You'll find it easy on a day when you don't eat too much food. You'll find it much easier, because when it's empty it's much easier. When it's full, then you have to press the food in also, so it becomes difficult. So try and practice, usually best on an empty stomach, but of course you can practice it anytime. Yeah. Now we will do one last breath before we go for the evening. Left is relaxation, right is excitement, if I've used the right word. Moon is to relax, sun is to invigorate. So in the evening, when it's time to sleep, we should do left nostril breathing. So you calm down, so the hormones relax. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, okay, I'm ready, as opposed to being, I need my coffee. Okay, so let's try breathing from the left. Usually, chest breathing is advised, but because we are practicing, it'll take time for these muscles to open. So till it doesn't happen, feel free to do full breathing. Okay, so let's try. Close this nostril, close your right nostril. Your right nostril close. Yes, sorry. Okay, and breathe in from the left and breathe out from the left. Breathing from, yeah, correct. You can keep your eyes closed if you want. If your hands get tired, simply put your hands down, but visualize the same breathing. 50% of any result is visualization, 50% is action. If your hands get tired, you can change hands, so you can put your hands down and visualize left nostril breathing. If at any point you feel uncomfortable sitting, make yourself relaxed by lying down. Choose your option. Remember, the heart rate should relax and you should feel completely at peace. Last 2 breaths. Last breath, and then just sitting or lying down, the choice is yours. Now we create a vibration in the body, and the vibration is an ah. As you open your mouth, it becomes an ah, and as you close, it becomes a ma, which becomes om or amen, or any other syllable in any other religion starts with In fact, a child says mama, which is also ama. So the sound of the vibration at the center of the earth is also ah. This sound exists in every sound. Every vibration has Create that sound now so you can relate to it. Once you relate to it, observe the sound in your body. It might not happen today. With practice, you'll be able to observe your cells vibrating in that vibration. And you can try this experiment on yourself. You can play a CD or an iTunes sound with and you can record it yourself if you want. And you can observe your heart rate after 5 to 8 minutes of the chant. You can try it on yourself, or you can go online and look for data for scientific research. So we would start, first breathe in. Try and elongate it as much as you can. Breathe in. Last time, breathe in. And now simply stay with that sound. Now hear that vibration in the background and try and find the in it. Now taking this vibration with you as we finish the class. Once again, you have 2 minutes to roll to your left and then sit up. Please take your time and take the vibrations with you as you sit up. As you're coming into the zone of sitting up, first be thankful and grateful. Thank yourself, be grateful to yourself, and the moment you do that, observe how immediately the body, the breath, the mind, they all feel so relaxed. seconds, much better. Thank you very much. I hope you had a good taster of what is possible. I wish I could have gone on longer, but I can't. But hopefully I see you in October, November. In the meantime, you have how many months to practice? Where are we now? May. June, July, August, September, October. You should be able to do 11 breaths. Long breaths. Now, do you remember when you did your arm, how long you did it for? Did you count? Okay. R is basically when you inhale, maybe for 2-3 seconds. And when you do the R, it usually comes to 9 or 10 seconds, which is double exhalation to your inhalation anyway. So all you have to do is mimic the R length to your breathing. It's that simple. Does that make sense? So it is nothing different. R is an exhalation with a sound. And when you breathe in and breathe out, there is no sound, so you can try and balance that. So hopefully if you come back in October, November, you should be able to do 11 counts. So inhale for about 4 and exhale for about 8 to 11 counts. Practice that. And try and feel relaxed when you do it. It can't happen in one day. For so many years you haven't practiced, all of a sudden it's not a paracetamol. It takes time. So give it time, be patient, let the body adapt. And you know that story of the bamboo tree?
No.
So there are 2 bamboo trees. You never heard it? That means I haven't spent enough time because this is my favorite story. And maybe you'll get bored of it in November. So you can plant 2 bamboo trees in exactly the same place. They both grow differently. Some grows in 1 month, some grows in 1 year. At the end of it, they both grow at the same height. So I'm a slow bamboo tree. I've taken a lot of time. So maybe you'll grow fast, maybe you'll grow slow, but have patience. Trust your body. If you have any questions, we can discuss. If not, then thank you very much and bon appetit.